All right. Hello and welcome to Fight for Blight, session 14. I thought it was 13 for a second, so I stalled. I don't know if you could tell, but I definitely stalled. Well, before we get into tonight's game, let's check in with each of our players. First, let's start with Adachi. How's your week?
Pretty crazy with work, but what's new? Nothing really to report. Watched some TV, it's fun. Got my second COVID shot today, also fun. Just kind of crossing my fingers I don't get real sick. I've heard the second one is where you have a lot of symptoms, so we'll see. 24 hours.
True. Hopefully just good things then.
Yeah.
Just
excited to play with Familiar.
Oh, well, not for very long, I hope.
Yeah.
Just Stalin, how was your week?
Not too much went on during the week, but over the weekend we went back to South Carolina, me and my girlfriend, to her sister's graduation, and she just finished her undergrad program, so that was pretty cool. I got to knock the dust off of some rock band skills too, because I haven't played that in years. Sorry, hero. I cannot do expert anymore. But I can do hard mode, so it was a good little weekend though.
So what's up? Crix, how was your week?
I finally had a mellow work week, which was awesome. And then yesterday was my sister's birthday, so I went and hung out with her. That was a lot of fun. Other than that, not a whole lot.
Do you guys go do anything specific or just hang out?
She was turning 30, so we just got really drunk.
That sounds fun.
It was a good time.
Except for when you're older, then it takes 4 or 5 days to recover, it feels like. When you get drunk, a few beers isn't too bad, but start building up maybe over a 6+ beer rate, and then you're feeling it for a couple days, it seems.
Oh yeah, she wasn't feeling great this morning.
May, how was your week?
It was good. I got my second COVID shot last Tuesday, and it was pretty chill. I got super tired Thursday. I got really cocky Wednesday, and I was like, haha, I'm fine. And then Thursday, I fell asleep on my laptop trying to work on the couch, and I was like, I think I should just go to bed. But
so it just took a little bit extra, and that fatigue hit you.
Yeah. But I mean, honestly, I just got sleepy, so I was like, that's not too shabby at all.
I'll take sleepy. That sounds good.
Yeah. But I'm very, very deeply excited to go out into the world.
Yeah. I feel while everyone's been working from home and they're super excited to go out, I've just been getting more and more annoyed with the amount of people that are making their way out. Is at first when everyone was working from home around this time last year, I could get anywhere so quickly because no one was on the road. Yeah. Now it's a whole bunch of people forgot how to drive, and I don't get why. What's going on?
I completely agree.
It's bad.
Yeah, I think reintroduction into society for all of society is gonna be hard.
Yeah, you guys forgot how to be social, and I don't have time for that. I got shit to do. Cryptilli,
in Florida.
What was that?
Oh, sorry. So in Florida, I mean, you guys have a ton of old people, right? So is bad drivers a big issue, or is this normal for rural?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's bad all the time, but especially during snowbird season. So winter is especially bad.
But it's always bad.
but it's always pretty bad.
I've said plenty of times, Adashi, that I could probably put forth like a campaign for like city council, and my only platform being that you have to retake your driver's license test to keep your driver's license, and like that's like a law that I'd push forth, and like I could probably get elected off just that, not have any other things, because a ton of people would agree.
There you go.
40% of the population would lose their license.
Yeah,
At least.
and that means the 60% is on my side.
Yeah.
But a
pretty
good
funny.
joke nonetheless.
Yeah, for sure.
Cryptilli.
Yeah, everything's pretty good, and like May said, pretty much got that COVID shot as well. Got cocky, went on like a 7-mile bike ride, and then couldn't make it the rest of the way back home because I got super drained. I was like, "Yeah, I'm down for 2 days sleep."
I was waiting for you to say I made it 7 miles out of my 14-mile bike ride, so you just like got halfway done and were just like, nope.
Yeah, pretty much.
Come
That's
get
it.
me.
Yeah, I made it to the gym. I worked out, and I tried to make it back home, to finish out the other 7. And I was like, oh, fuck no, I just can't. I can't move my muscles. No, I don't want to.
You guys are crazy. Or just maybe overly cocky.
Yeah, I didn't try to go on a 7-mile bike ride. I probably went 1 mile and I was like, oh, my muscles just aren't working. My legs aren't working.
I only felt like that like after doing a whole bunch of concrete work when I was younger. But now I'm just getting nervous.
No, but I mean, like, it's literally like the worst thing that happened to us was we were tired for a day.
Yeah,
Like,
true.
that's not bad.
The first round hit me a lot harder than the second round did. Just me personally.
Oh,
Word. Vieric, how was your week, bud?
It was cool. I get my COVID shot in a couple days here. Not looking forward to it because my immune system sucks or whatever.
Well, it can't be that bad yet. You didn't get COVID.
You're not wrong.
And you had a couple scares too, didn't you?
It was just the one where my roommate had it, but I stayed so far away from him.
you were like
I
spraying
saw
him with
my
Lysol.
Oh, your household?
Yeah, I saw it a couple days ago, so that's pretty
Nice.
dope.
Congrats.
Thank you.
For
You
you
make
as the
some big money
seller,
on it?
I feel like it's way easier than the buying process, but still a lot of shit to do.
It was definitely easier, but it still sucked.
Mm-hmm. I bet. Well, then with that, let's go ahead and do the recap real quick and then get into tonight's game. So, which one of you would like to take the point and get that sweet, sweet XP?
So I got nothing, but I will take my hat off and put it back on. Does that count as a recap?
Wow.
I hate you. Like,
Oh my god.
I think what was funnier
can
is
you take XP points away from him, please?
I
Give
think
that
what
man
was
inspiration.
I think what was funnier in that joke is that he laughed so hard at his own joke we could hear it over your microphone.
Literally, can you hear him still laughing now?
Oh my goodness.
He's in the background. Jeez.
It's all doped up on caffeine.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah, we did start off in a winter storm or another blizzard, so we all had to hunker down from that. And then afterwards, I remember a bit of scouting went on, which May did, and she found this doorway or entrance that was elevated and it had a magical barrier. I don't know if it was more like a cave type thing.
Yeah, it was like an opening in the cliff face. and it had a magical barrier.
And we
Okay.
just so happened to have the key to it, even though none of us knew that we did.
Right.
You think Lord Varick had it all along.
We got very lucky there.
Adachi deboed the key from him and threw it up to Cryptilli, who kind of came from the top of the ravine to get to the cave.
And then we found the room with the fountain, and we melted all the water, which didn't do anything, or we
I think
lit
we
all the
unlocked
torches.
the door.
Was it the lighting the torches or melting the water that unlocked the door? It was one of the two.
A combination, or we like used the torches to melt the fountain, and then that unlocked the door, I believe. At least from my
I feel like
notes.
he said it sounded like air settling, I think is what we were told.
Okay.
Then when we actually checked the door, it was unlocked and we went in.
Yeah, it was a room full of skeletons and bones, and we just walked right in.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
And
then
then
they turned
Super
into
good.
yep. And then the doors closed behind us, and the bones came to life, and there were a couple undead owl bears.
Oh yeah, there was also a statue of some elven guy though too. Like, was it with the fountain?
Yeah, as a part of the fountain, there was water
Okay.
coming out his mouth.
But we didn't know exactly who he was. And I think there was a quote that said, "Permission is not a right; it is a privilege." I think
Yep.
that's what he said.
Mysterious.
We may see what that means later.
I think Varick made mention to who the guy was, but we was like, we don't know that kid.
Yeah.
Vieric has a feeling he might know who it is, but he's not even sure from what we know. More mysterious Vieric stuff.
There's a couple of other things. I mean, I guess not so much like important, but I mean, I just feel solidifies you guys as like siblings when it happens. And the detail of you guys having that little bit of an argument back and forth while Cryptilli walked her way around going back up to the top of the cliff. Each of you kind of broke out in a little bit of a tiff, if you will, after just Stalin had caught Vieric lying.
Right.
Sounds like us.
Yeah, as is usual, we argued for a long time about how to go about doing what we wanted to do until Cryptilli got pissed and left and did her own thing. But this time, I think the interesting thing was Adachi snatching the brooch and throwing it up to her.
Succeeding.
It was like the best nat 20 I've ever rolled.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if there was ever a time to roll a natural 20, that was a good time to do it.
I mean, I don't think Vieric rolled it very high for him. I think so. I don't know if I needed to go that hard, but Adachi did.
Hell nah, I got like.
But
the
I think
worst
Vieric's
roll
gonna get
ever.
him back. Yeah, I don't think I even need. It was like so overkill. Like having a nat 20. But I'm pretty sure Vieric's planning his revenge, so we got that to look forward to.
He might be.
Got a taste for rebellion now.
Yeah.
I know what else could happen. Cards are on the table, at least some of them.
Taking a level of rogue, next level.
Oh no.
My fighter, rogue, wizard build. Optimized.
In 4 levels.
Yeah.
Just go every class. And then just 1 level.
Yeah.
Good. But that's pretty good. Just want to double check. The last time I had updated each of you, you were all at 1,949 experience.
No, I have us at 1,632.
I have us at 1949.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah, me
same.
too.
Yeah, 1949. That's what I have.
If anyone's in the Twitch chat, can you clip that? Because I think that's the only time I'll ever be right or have the majority when against Pia.
That's
I need to remember this moment because I think this is the only time this has ever happened since we've known each other.
in my defense, my Google Drive wasn't working last week, so I was like flying blind. You know what I'm saying? Very unusual for me.
I need to honor this moment.
I try to pick up the slack.
You did great. Your notes were beautiful.
Appreciate it. Should have did the EXP though.
But we'll get into tonight's game with this. It is still April 20th, year 1101, nearing early afternoon. While each of you have only been inside this cave for a short bit of time, a few things have been uncovered quite quickly. A fountain displaying a stone statue of a male high elf that Virik called Nuvian. A message on the southeast side of the fountain base reading, what was it? Privilege is not a right? Let me pull up those notes.
I think it was permission.
Permission is not a right, it is a privilege.
That's it. I just saw it.
Thank you. Also, a double door, which was emanating necromancy magic, which was identified by Kreptili and Adashi. Kreptili pointing out that it had the spell Raise Dead. With this, the family melts the ice away in the fountain, and as the water begins to flow, a little bit of a seal seems to be broken as air escapes from the southeast doors. The family moves over. Crix uses a shadow to open the doors slightly. First, finding nothing, the family decides to open the doors fully and move in. Only little May at this point remaining in the previous room when the doors begin to shut and then seal. Skeletal creatures begin to form, bones snap and pop as they lock back into place. Black and red muscle grow over the bones slowly, inch by inch, as little bits of flesh and feathers begin to appear. Blank white eyes blink a couple times at each of you. The beak snaps. Bits of drool begin falling from its lower beak. At this point, can each of you go ahead and roll me initiative? Okay, just gonna go through the list real quick, see who did, who are we missing? Virik.
Oh, that sucks. I got a 20. What the hell?
You just didn't click your token, that's okay. Just click your token, re-roll, and then change your number to a 20.
And mine should have only been 10. I actually don't know which die you rolled first. I don't know why I rolled that advantage.
How do I change my number to 20? Oh, never mind. There it is.
Got you,
Thank
bud. Actually, yours was right there, Kreptili. It dropped the 8, which was your second roll.
Oh, perfect. Cool.
Okay, just wanted to make sure each of you were in the correct line and correct order. And I gotta try to minimize this a little bit. And then I'll put this right. Yeah. So, first to go is the one on your northeastern side. As the beak snaps, you can see the spittle kind of splatter across the cave floor, drying bits become a little bit wet, then quickly begin to freeze over, and the liquid freezes over into ice. Creature then steps forward and will attempt to claw your shadow. 24 to hit the shadow. Slashing
hits?
through it, it dissipates in a plume of smoke. And as it does, you'll see the creature kind of tilt its head to the side. And as it opens its mouth, you can see its throat moving, but no sound emits. Its attention turns, snapping towards Vieric. Then we'll take another swing with the claw and then attempt to peck you with the beak as well. Swinging forth with the claw for a 12 to hit, which is a miss, I believe, and the beak attack for a 21 to hit. This is on you, Vieric.
Fuck.
I believe only the 21 hits.
Cool. I'm okay with that.
You'll take 8 points of piercing damage as the beak penetrates through your armor. It hits your flesh just a bit. And while you normally find yourself safe at a distance, right now things are a little too close for comfort. But it is your turn.
So I'm gonna try to take steps back.
Okay, as you
And-
take a step back, it will swing at you.
Oh, well,
For an 18 to hit. What's your AC, Vieric?
I'm gonna attempt to shoot at him. I don't know if I can do that or not.
Well, real quick, what's your AC?
What did he hit for? I'm sorry.
17.
Fuck.
Or an 18.
A 7.
No, your AC is 16, bud. Just look.
Wait, what am I missing? Hold up. I'm sorry. I looked at my hit points. My bad.
I hope you don't have 7 hit points.
Yeah, that's my bad. I subtracted from the hit points. I'm sorry.
Okay, then the claws will sink into you for a total of 14 slashing damage as they slice across. Bits catch your upper left arm and then slice into your chest as well. Now, if you were looking to make an attack, depending on what you're trying to do, we'll go from there.
So I'm gonna attempt to shoot with my bow if I can.
You can, but at the short distance will cause it to be a disadvantage, I believe. Let me double check. Because for whatever reason, I always forget how this works. Because in my mind, I think it works differently, and then I think I'm wrong.
Don't you just have to be the minimum distance away to not have disadvantage?
Yeah, you're right. So it's only within 5 feet. That's why I said I wanted to double check because I'm pretty sure I'm usually wrong, but I think it's submitted into my head from like 2E when I learned. So it's just like an old bad habit. So yeah, you're good. You can make your ranged attack like you normally do. 25 hits. For 11 damage. The arrow pierces in, and you can see it and also hear it as the arrow tip hits a bone.
So I'ma laugh and say, you're not the only one that can hit hard, big boy.
Is that it for your turn?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, May moves to you.
Okay, so May had her short swords out, and she is going to attack the one in front of her.
Okay. Unfortunately, an 8 is a miss. As you swing forward, you go from the right to left, and when you do, you slash almost perfectly horizontal, finding no flesh, going straight between the rib cage, but not connecting to any bones.
Okay, and then I'm gonna use my second attack. And sorry, I forgot what it's called. I think it's double-handed.
2-weapon.
Yeah, that's what it is.
The 2-weapon fighting.
Oh. Woo.
Well, natural 20.
I don't know if I've ever gotten a natural 20 on an attack roll. Okay.
I think the only difference, if I'm remembering this correctly, is that you just don't get the proficiencies on your damage, correct?
Let me pull it up. I've just been so reliant on my ranged weapons that I cannot remember.
Is it 2-weapon fighting?
Yep, I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Okay, yeah, it says you can add. Okay. Okay, then you're good.
So just a regular damage roll?
It should double it for you. But if it doesn't, we can always check.
Oh, because of the crit.
Okay, let me just hover over it, make sure. Yep, okay. So for 10 damage as you sink in with your short sword. While the first attack was unsuccessful, you do draw its attention away as it follows the little bits of light glimmering from your blade. And as it does, it opens up its neck. Perfect point for you to strike. You slash down. Bits of feathers scatter about, and you can smell the dead, decaying flesh fall as it hits the cave floor.
And then I'm going to move backwards. I already moved 5 feet. So I'm going to move right here to where I can shoot at it next time.
Okay, as you attempt to move away, it will slash at you with its claws for a 17 to hit.
That hits.
Deal a total of 16 slashing damage as it swipes across your back as you attempt to move away.
All right, that's the end of my turn.
Just Stalin. It's your turn.
All right, I'm gonna move up a bit closer towards where May is, and I would like to use Hadia's dart on the owlbear to the south. Now, to blind this, do I have to say ink? I know it said something about making a specific command when I throw it
Yep.
in order to get it to work.
That command can be whatever you want it to be. I usually just put in like a filler word.
Okay. So just stalling to throw the Hadia's dart towards the owlbear's eyes, I guess,
Okay.
and yell, "Ink!"
All right. Throw me give me your attack roll. So the 21 will hit, and I just need to remember.
Yeah, I think it blinds it for one of its full until its next turn, but yeah, double check.
It says if the attack hits, the target is blind until the end of its next turn. A creature can use its action to clear away the ink on itself or another creature within its reach, allowing it to see again.
And you just have ink in there, so we're good.
No damage, just blinding effect. And that's all I can do.
But you do get to roll your damage as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
like it has to hit for this to work. So for 6 damage. Just double checking the one to the south, right?
Yep, the one to the south. Yeah, I didn't even think about damage. That makes sense.
I found a little bleeding eye for blindness.
Right. Then the dart should return straight back to me.
That's correct. And then
Nice.
after striking and then blinding the enemy, the dart returns to your hand. Anything else for your turn?
Nope, I'm just playing support for now.
Creptilli. It's your turn.
Noise. I am going to, since I already have my crossbow out, I'm actually going to look at the one to the south. I'm going to yell out, "Nice one, brother." And I'm going to shoot it with my crossbow. Or at least try to.
Well, as you pull it back, you then hear a bit of a snap. And as you look towards the broad end of your crossbow, you'll notice that there is a bit of a splinter. It seems that the damage from Adachi has the firebolt has caused a little bit of an effect.
Was that the one to the south? Because wouldn't he have advantage on that since it's blinded?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not going to remind you guys. I told you the training wheels are off.
Good save, Adachi.
$19 hits. It's also why I didn't give reminders of why people were attacked for moving.
Yep. I'm rusty.
For 7 piercing damage. Anything else for your turn?
Yeah. I think that after noticing that Vic probably took a little more damage than he can handle, I'm gonna mutter some words under my breath and go, "This sweet bitch." But like, very like low so that everyone doesn't hear it. But if someone catches it, it is what it is.
Nice,
And
max
I'll
heal.
give 6 points of healing damage to Vic.
Healing damage. I love it.
I'm gonna look at her and say, "That's cute. I didn't know you had pity in you."
You didn't hear me.
Yeah, but you healed me.
You don't know that.
I mean, I would feel better.
It could have been May.
Man, fuck that. She can't do that.
I think I'm pretty
Yeah,
safe to
Alex
say.
May does have those skills. I mean, I'm honored that you would think that, but no.
I think it's safe to say the only person that's shown any healing capability has been you there, Cryptilly.
And Crix, I think.
I can only do me.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
Exactly, Crip Tiddly. You beautiful bitch.
Well, play it, Jabberwocky.
Anything else for your turn?
That's the end of my turn.
Adashi.
Also noticing that Virik was hit real bad. Adachi is going to move up by Virik. And I can still see this one to the south over the panther, right?
Oh, yeah.
If I was shooting a fire, okay. And then I want to firebolt this guy down here at advantage. So I'm just going to click this twice.
That was really violent.
Yeah.
And I see a
and they're
2 and a
both-
7 on the dice, but it's showing up different in the chat.
Yeah, I guess they're both 11, so probably they both miss.
Well, even if you did have
Either one
both
hit.
7s, I mean, you know the 2's a miss.
Yeah. Yeah, but the 11's a miss.
Correct.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that is a
and-
miss.
And then I have my shield out and right hand free to cast spells. So I just kind of look to Virik and say, I'm here to support you, brother. Got your back. And that's my turn.
So after a bolt strikes this one, it kind of flinches as it just unintentionally dodges the firebolt from you, Adachi. The firebolt striking the cave wall to the back. You can see the bits of flame pitter out as bits of rock fall to the cave's floor. The creature looking a bit around, you then see it get a bit of attention towards Crix's direction, and then begin to make its way over. While its eyes are still covered with ink, it will begin to swing wildly at you, Crix. First with its claws, and then its beak. So the first attack with the claws is a 16 and 12, rolling with disadvantage. 12 being a miss. Unfortunately, the second claw attack is 2 26s.
Yep, that'll hit.
18 damage as it connects with you on the second claw attack. And then a 9 for the beak for a miss.
That will miss.
The other roll not much better, just a 12. But nonetheless. Disadvantage paying off just a bit there for you. But still connecting one time, and with this slap right across your chest, you kind of feel the pain that your shadow did when it was just dissipated moments ago. But it's your time to strike back, since it is now your turn.
Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is resummon my shadow with my bonus action. Put that bad boy right there, and then I'm gonna swing around to the back of it myself. Then I am going to make an attack at advantage because of flanking and blinded, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Some would even call it super advantage.
If only.
Well, those weren't very good rolls, but a 13's enough. For 8 damage? Nice.
Then I'm gonna use a charge of Shadow's Wrath to have my shadow make an attack.
'21's another nice solid hit. For 10.
And then I'm going to use Action Surge to make one more attack.
Yeah, you can't let your shadow show you up, right? 24 hits.
No,
The mimic of you is a better you. But for another 9 damage, what is that? A total of 27 for the turn? That's pretty good.
Yep, and that's going to end my turn.
Well done.
Which brings us to the top of round 2. This one, just behind you, Cryptilly, will begin to try to attack you, being the closest one for it to grasp and eat.
Bring it on, Burbit.
The first attack is for a 21.
That will hit.
Take a total of 10 damage, slashing damage from the first claw attack. The second one being a 25
That will hit.
for 15 more slashing damage. And as this one begins to just spittle a bit more, it draws its head back and it will attempt to pierce you with its beak.
Oh, I'm already down, so he can go ahead and do that.
Well, as it slashes at you and you fall, it will then still attempt to pierce you with its beak. And as it does, with a natural 20, you will fail 2 death saving throws.
Nice.
Virik, you just watched your sister get mauled after you fled from this creature, leaving her back vulnerable and exposed. She healed you after you got struck. You knew it was her. Now she's down.
Alright, so I'm gonna step up and take a shot at it.
'27 will hit. For 5 piercing damage. Anything else, Virik?
Nah, that's gonna be it.
Things find themselves to be a little tight on the ropes here as we move to May.
May is going to run to her sister and sorry.
And disappear.
Run to her sister and see if she can stabilize her.
You can give me a medicine check. Patching her up.
So is she stabilized?
I do believe as long as you have a healer's kit, then yes.
I don't have that. Unless I would have that in my like adventuring gear. But I don't think I do.
Oh, that's from with so if you have it, you don't need to make the check, but let me
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna for things that I'm never sure of, I'm always gonna look it up unless I'm 100% certain, especially if it may or may not involve a character death.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So, stabilizing a creature from the book says you can use your action to administer a first aid to an unconscious creature and attempt to stabilize it, which requires a successful medicine check, DC 10. A stable creature does not need to make death saving throws at this point, while still having 0 hit points, does remain unconscious.
Hell yeah. Yeah, and then I would like to order Nyx to move, which I believe I can do because having my Panther move isn't part of my action.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So I'm gonna sort of like as I'm rushing past Nyx, I'm gonna point at the owlbear in front and say Nyx behind, and Nyx is going to probably very nimbly jump. Oh wait. I like combined me and Nyx's token again. Jump over us. Come back here. And it's not gonna do anything. It's just gonna stand there and be like obviously looking and crouched and scared probably of the owlbear, but she's just gonna stay there. And that's the end of my turn, because it would take an action for me to try to move Cryptili, correct?
Indeed.
Yeah, okay.
Well, it's not an action for you to move her, but it will, like dragging a creature halves your movement speed. So for every 5 feet, it's 10 foot.
Okay, so let me just do some quick math. I move from here to here. That's 20 feet. So I could move her 5 feet back, and that would be 10 feet, which would make my 30 feet speed.
Your math's correct if that's what you want to ask.
Yes, thank you. Great, and then I'm gonna drag Cryptili away from the owlbear back 5. Whew, and that's the end of my turn.
Okay, well, don't hate me, but I'm not supposed to try to make this easy. Pulling Cryptili out of the range and moving what this owlbear creature believes to be its prey will begin to try to slash at Cryptili. Cryptili. Unfortunately for you, still being prone, finding yourself in a vulnerable position as May moves you back, unbeknownst to you, saving your life, but then putting you in danger again. A 19 to hit with the claw attack.
That a hit?
You find yourself back in death saving throw territory, 0 and 0. Overall, May, put him in a better position because he's not at zero saves and 2 fails. At least at this point, he's got another turn to live.
Well, I'm gonna just take it as today is the day I'm like, hopefully learning this lesson for the last time about opportunity attacks.
No, that was a good move. You did good, May.
Like I said, overall, it's a good move.
That's a net win.
Yeah, you may have lost a little bit there with the attack, but you know, having your sister down and saving her life and putting her in a position to where she can actually survive versus just be mauled and killed instantly, I would call that a win.
Damn good move.
Thanks, y'all.
Just Stalin. Of course, you've witnessed everything that's been going on.
Yeah, I don't trust my medicine skills right now, so I'm gonna use my rage and adrenaline instead. So I'll be moving down 10 feet to the southern owlbear. Then I'll be using my flurry of blows as well.
Heard?
Nice.
Those are all good hits. 20's a hit. I mean, of course, the next 20 is a hit, and then the 19 as well. $15, 23.
It's got to go.
So a little bit more
Nice.
than you needed, but as it begins to stagger from your second strike, the blow coming from your fist, you leap up and kick it right in the lower parts of the beak, knocking its beak away from its face. And then the bones just begin to break apart, fall. The flesh then just starts to put off this putrid decaying smell.
So I have an additional 30 feet of movement. Can I yell or try to taunt while I'm running? Or would that be another action?
I'll give it to you. It's normally an action, though.
Okay. Do I need a check or anything, or just go for it?
Go ahead and tell me what you're doing, and if it's good enough, I'll give you the check.
So, let's see. I'm banking on like running around here, yelling at this northern owlbear, and then kind of retreating, just enough to distract it, but make my distance.
Okay, what are you yelling?
Try and hit me, you bastard! Something corny like that.
All right, give me your intimidation check.
Damn.
Okay.
Guess I needed a 10.
See the whites of the owlbear's eyes, but without the pupils, it makes it fairly difficult to tell exactly where its attention is focusing. The head seems to be in your general direction.
That's 20 points of movement there, and 25 in addition to my original 10, so that's 35 total out of 40.
Perfect.
And that's all I can do.
Cryptilli, give me a death saving throw, please. What do you roll? It's probably going to be a natural 20.
That would be great.
Not a natural 20, but it passed.
Not bad.
Adashi, your turn.
Okay, this might be stupid. But I'm gonna draw my scimitar, and then I'm gonna move up 10 feet. And then I would like to use my booming blade cantrip, so I make a weapon attack against it. And then if I hit, something happens if it moves. I'm just gonna roll my scimitar.
You're flanking because of Nyx behind the owlbear.
Oh, okay, yeah. Do I get advantage for that then?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Maybe not as dumb of a move as I thought. Okay, hold on. So 1, 2. The 18 hit.
18's a hit.
So he takes 9 slashing damage. And then I am going to. Let's see, I moved up 10. I'm going to move back 1, 2, 3. And if he moves next turn, he takes 1d8 thunder damage.
Mm-hmm. These are all true statements so far.
Yep, that's my turn.
Well, looking towards its rear, seeing the cowering cat, it will strike.
Oh, forgot there's a cat there.
22 to hit the kitty.
It hits.
For 16 damage.
It's down.
It'll then step forward. Go ahead and roll your booming thunder damage, I believe it is.
1. What a fail.
Then looking at Vieric, it will make it the rest of its attacks. A 19 and a 16 to hit you, Vieric. I believe both hit.
Yeah, they do.
17 damage from the claws and 6 from the beak. Total of 23 damage.
Oof.
I believe that brings you down, sir.
It does. Indeed, it does.
Oh, no.
And then as this one pulls it down, Crix, you see your family getting knocked off their feet one by one, having the more, I guess, fragile of your family up in the front is showing you how detrimental the positioning can be. But it's your turn.
First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move my shadow into a better position. And I'm gonna make an attack on the owlbear with my shadow.
Okay. '18's a hit. Rolled a lot of those. Oh, it re-rolled your 2, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to use another charge of Shadow's Fury to have it attack again.
Oh yeah, keep hitting it with that shadow. It seems to be working out. Ooh, another solid hit.
Nice.
Hey, re-rolling them 2s.
And then I'm going to use Second Wind with my bonus action to heal myself for 1d10 plus 3.
Perfect. Oh, shit! Good heal.
After that, I'm going to move myself right there, and that will end my turn.
Okay.
Hey DM, I'm a little confused because I think, or of which owlbear's turn. Okay. never
Yeah,
mind.
that's why I'm skipping the other one. I was just about to point it out. The only thing that would have made a difference is if Crix killed it, but it doesn't, so I'm just skipping the turn. But it does bring us to Vieric. Vieric, roll me a death saving throw.
Okay, give me a second. I gotta find it.
It's just a D20.
You said it's a what?
Just a D20.
Mm-hmm. There, if you look on your D&D Beyond sheet, I put your HP down to 0, which brings up your death saves for you. If you click that little dice in the middle between failures and successes, that should work. But if not, you can just roll a regular D20. It will be good.
Oh
that
my
was
god, I'm
impressive.
sorry. I did not mean to do that.
Well, I'll just take the first one. 17 is a pass, so you're good.
Dope.
You gotta succeed on 2 more.
Nice.
Or fail on 3 more and die. But May, it's your turn.
All right, I'm gonna shoot the owlbear because I think Creep Tilly has at least another 2 turns in her, and so does Vieric. Okay. Oh my
Unfortunately, a
God.
12 is a miss.
That means I rolled a 3. Okay, this is the end of my turn.
Sorry, May. Just Stalin. Ooh, that was scary.
As it should be. All right, I'm going all the way up using 35 of my movement points, so I can try to get some advantage on this owlbear to the north. I'm going to use Flurry of Blows again so that we can take this guy out and then hopefully heal our siblings or stabilize them.
Okay, sounds good. Well, that should have been a crit. Yeah. Natural 20 on your attack. So roll me another d6. And I'll add it to your 11 piercing. Just a 1, but 12 damage on the strike as you slash down its rib cage right along its spine. And deal a nice amount of damage. Okay, the rest of your attacks.
All right. Oh, so you got that one. I think it was just a small delay. Gotcha.
Yep. I need the unarmed ones. There we go. That's a hit for 8 damage. How do you want to do it?
Yeah, I always want to save my Flurry of Blows if it kills them before. I never know how that works. Like, do I have to make the decision fully beforehand, or can I just
No,
stop?
you can do it afterwards. So the 8 will take it out, so you can save it.
Okay, so I'll just save that cop point then. Sweet. That's it.
All right, so slashing it perfectly down its spine with the short sword, you find a fracture in its bones. Punching forward, you shatter the skeleton structure as it falls. Probably just as quick, if not quicker, than Nyx. That cat got fwapped.
Too soon.
So
Oh,
I'm gonna
hold on.
immediate.
I'm sorry, I deleted the turn orders.
I think I was next.
But yes, it does bring it to Adachi.
Yeah, I'm gonna move to Vieric, and with my -1 wisdom, gonna attempt a medicine check to stabilize him.
Okay.
Oh,
I forgive him. I heard him.
I was gonna
Vieric, I'm
say
sorry.
you'll be okay unless you roll a 1. All right. Vieric,
Okay.
I feel like 2 would be fair, but that might be a bit cruel. You will fail 1 death save.
Yes, as Adachi rubs dirt in it.
As Adachi rubs dirt in it, yes, exactly.
Just grabbing
God
all the
damn it,
dirt. You don't know what's going on. You're dead. I mean, you're
You're about to be after Adachi's getting done with you. But that will bring
That's
us
right,
to
that's
Vieric's turn. Vieric, roll me a death save. Okay, so 2 passes, 1 fail. Then I believe it will move us to May.
So she's gonna try to stabilize Cryptilli again.
Okay. Cryptilli, you find yourself unconscious, which then it does move to your turn, but since you're unconscious, you can't do anything. Then it will move us to just Stalin.
Help, Nick! I've stabilized our sister.
okay, great. I was wondering, and I was gonna ask. Let me try.
Okay, so I'm understanding this totem pole here a bit. It's Vieric at the bottom, Nyx, then Cryptilli. So far in that order.
Wow.
Wait. Has
Well, yeah.
Nick done any saving throws yet? I missed those.
Oh yeah, no. Nick
I'm
hasn't
rolling
done
them. She's still
Oh.
alive at the moment.
it. Oh.
How many has she failed?
You can roll me an animal handling to check if you really want
Oh,
to.
shit, I don't know if I have time for
If
all that.
you want to risk the time, but
I think I need to save my brother, even though he's an asshole.
That's fair.
Save the kitty.
give
Save the
give.
kitty.
I'll allow this. Give me a perception check real quick. Just all in. Nyx looks to be alive. How long? You're unsure. You do see Adachi tending to Vieric's wounds, but literally just rubbing dirt over them. You know that's not going to help Vieric. So with that information, you
Tears
can
in
make
his
your call.
eyes. Like, Vieric, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Vieric. I'm so sorry. There's
Okay,
not enough
okay.
dirt.
Help Vieric first. Help. Adachi, get off of him.
There's not enough dirt, mate. There's not enough dirt.
I'm gonna go here and say, move, damn it. We'll get the cat afterwards. So please move, Adachi.
I mean, I don't think I can move, but
Oh,
I think
wait.
you can.
Unfortunately,
occupy my
there's this
space.
mysterious force preventing Adachi
Oh,
from...
great. Okay, because we're frozen in time.
I think he can technically occupy my space. He just can't end his turn in it. I think.
Exactly, yeah. He can use half the movement to go through, which
Yeah, so
saves
you
him
can,
5
you can
feet
move
than
me
going
out.
around.
pours his booze over the dirty wound.
No.
Like, yeah, I'm sterilizing it with the wine, liquor, whatever I have on me. Clean some of
Okay,
that
so the
dirt out.
16 stabilizes. Vieric is good. We will remain in combat until Nyx is saved or perishes. But you do have movement left over. And to answer your question, Cryptilli, yes.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 6, 30. Oh crap! I don't have a lot of movement left, but I can move through a dashi.
It is difficult terrain, and you can't end your turn there.
So I can use my last 10, but it's difficult going through a dashi.
If you use your last 10, you can go there and then there would be my
There.
recommendation. Is that's 5? Well, or
So,
you can go one more over to the right because it would be 10 to get through, right? No, I'm right.
Yeah,
now.
it would have been 10 to go through.
Yep. So you can go over one square or you can stay where you're at. Okay?
It could work.
So then with them being unconscious, it moves to Crix.
I'm gonna move over to Nyx and
Kill
do
it.
a medicine check on.
Oh,
it. Probably
yeah, save her.
kill it.
Ooh.
Go ahead.
I got that good dirt.
And you do have
Hell
some
yeah.
good dirt. While you do notice this being quite a bit different from tending to wounds in the field, from what you found in your training, you know, of course, being an animal and not a high elf, you are able to stop the bleeding and have the breaths take a more gradual, rhythmic pace. Whatever you did seems to have done the trick. And with everyone that was on or near death's door being saved, while 2 of the elves, the siblings, and 1 of the adopted creatures finds themselves unconscious, the doors to the northwest that sealed you in begin to open. And with that is when little May will quickly flutter in.
Caw-caw.
Well, you missed the hell.
Quick, Adashi, send her down the hall to see what else lurks.
I think we need to retreat for now.
After we pick this gold and silver up, I agree.
Gold and silver. We're royalty. Let's get the fuck out of here.
I can always use a little bit more pocket change. Unless Adashi thinks this is a cursed gold.
I detected magic and only detected magic on the door, so I think it's okay.
Can I pour one of my healing potions down Vieric's throat?
Of course.
Okay, then I'll use one of those to have him quaff it.
Okay.
I definitely
Whichever
need
you want to
get that.
roll the dice for it, feel free.
I forget what's the dice for basic healing.
2d4 plus 2, if I'm not mistaken. I will double check. $2d4 plus 2, yes.
So go ahead and roll 2d4 plus 2, Vieric, and add that to your health. You'll be conscious and moving again.
Alright, give me a second.
Ooh, not so fast. Shoving it down his throat like that, he can roll the 2d4 plus 2, but it's going to be choking damage. I'm just kidding. That would suck.
Alright, right in his wound.
Right in it, rub dirt in his wound some more. Maybe that'll help. Ooh, good roll. That's pretty good. 1 off from full, or from max. Cryptilli, do you want to describe this aloud for everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. Feel free.
Yeah, so as I get knocked down, I'm kind of seeing this purplish blue fog, which is like the similar color to the emblem that I have on the hilt of my bow, and like how I kind of see
I
the
didn't think it was
aura of
gonna live.
Mavara. So I'm just kind of floating through this fog at the time, seeing myself get closer to the darkness, which feels good, and then getting drawn back into the light, which I'm like trying to fight off and go back to the towards the darkness, like the darker color of purple instead of the lighter rings of blue. And I'm just find myself asking, is it my time? Have I finally escaped life? And then feeling myself getting pulled back to the light.
Can you roll me a perception check, Cryptilly? You hear
She's hot.
words call out. Unfortunately, you're unable to make out what they're saying. The only identifying factor that you can make out is that it is a female's voice.
That's hot.
Well, the rest
Do you
of
have
you
it?
now have Vieric up and no longer unconscious. Cryptilly and Nyx both still sleepy night time.
I shout out to Crix. Do you have any more of those potions? Can we get Cryptilia up? I believe she can heal Nyx and the rest of us, hopefully.
You have one more, but, well, this is an emergency, I guess. We should use it.
She might have some on her as well. I don't feel confident enough to search her for them, though.
The only reason I'm hesitant to use it is because I was told they were rare. But I will use it, so I'll give her my other potion. Well, I'll shove it down her throat. I'm sure that'll piss her right off when she wakes up.
Cryptilly, go ahead and roll the 2d4 plus 2. The complete opposite. But it makes sense. From your dream and resisting being pulled away from the light, little bits of life begin to trickle back into you. Get 4 HP back, and as you gasp for that fresh breath of air, that first breath after coming back from the dead, well, your eyes are open, and you feel that you can move a bit.
I'm probably just gonna sit there, not like sulking, but kind of grimacing being alive.
Adashi seeing Vieric pop up, because I think he's crying, because he was just like crying, pouring dirt all over him, like when he saw him go down. He's gonna grab Vieric's like right hand with both of his hands. He's like, Vieric, I'm so sorry. I retreated to get a better shot, and I just left you wide open. I should have protected you. I'm so sorry. I'm so glad. Please forgive me. And he's just like babbling on, like crying, like just bawling.
Vieric, can you give me an insight check?
Oh no.
While his feelings seem to be sincere, you are covered in dirt. You see his hands
Oh no.
a bit dirty as well.
I imagine they're like even a little bloody because he was digging the dirt so hard trying to like cover you in it.
So I'm gonna snatch my hand away and say, Adachi, don't touch me.
I'm I tried to help you. I tried to. And then
You tried.
She's just gonna.
You tried, but you failed. Just like I failed to protect my sister. I'm sorry, Cryptilly.
I failed to protect both of you. I truly do apologize. I'm a poor shield.
Look, there's plenty of failure to go around. I certainly learned a lot today about my ability to fight in close quarters, as well as Nyx. Sister, do you have any magic that can help Nyx, perhaps? Wake up, at least?
Yes. I'm sure that she'll be feeling a little better soon. And I'm just gonna mutter to myself, weakness, the whole lot of us.
Harsh, but May's like over cradling Nyx, hoping she wakes up.
Tadashi, feeling a little rejected, is going to take Little May and kind of go down here and prepare to like scout out ahead using Little May.
Seeing Adachi wander off, I'm gonna go with him.
I would like to pick up some of this gold and silver and see if there's any emblems or markings on them that's familiar, and just to put some in my pocket. Why not?
So if you're looking to just grab like a couple of handfuls, you can add 20 gold and 20 silver pieces. 20 gold pieces and 20 silver pieces to your inventory. But looking over them, you will notice that there are little engravings on them. It's just the same coin that you've seen back at the treasury. Seems to be funds in just currency from Zidane.
So nothing extra ancient. Cool.
DM, is that sword next to that northern owl bear by the skeleton? Is that just a flavor sword, or is that like a real sword?
Did you say flavor sword?
Yes,
Flavor,
just a
yeah, like
picture
yeah.
here, or is it an object?
Still so funny to say flavor.
Never heard that.
Flavor
I
sword,
want to check that
flavor
out.
skeleton.
Maybe decoration?
Have any of you tried to move it?
I was gonna go look at it, or just, brother, what about that sword? Anything special about it?
See if it has any flavor.
It's got some
Taste
salt and
it.
pepper on it for show. A little bit of garlic salt, onion powder.
Right. All the ancient sword essentials.
Paprika.
I mean, I guess the only thing I'll say for this is if he can pick up the gold pieces.
Take it all.
But for real, have any of you tried to move the sword?
Nah.
Someone should have an Arcana check on it first. I don't trust anything in here either.
Just touch it, it's fine.
I mean, I could have my shield out try and touch it if anybody would bring my attention to it, but right now I have no idea about it.
Yeah, out of character, I was asking, but like Adachi detected magic and didn't notice anything magical, so he like him, that's not me.
So I would yell to Adachi and Crix to tell them to hold off so we could scout the room some more. Adachi, Crix, wait. There's more to look through.
Don't worry, I was just making sure Dashi didn't try and go off by himself.
Suppose somebody had to.
After
I mean, I was just gonna send May, but I mean, that's fine, I guess.
I don't think we should explore any deeper into here right at the moment. We've been quite diminished in our strength.
Agreed.
Let's retreat and recuperate.
That would be my suggestion.
After someone looks at this sword, please. It's curious.
What sword? What?
after
The one here to the right of me, I guess, if I'm standing that way.
Alright, as you pointed out, I'll have my shadow go and attempt to pick it up.
I'll back up just in case it explodes. And
Can you move it?
What do you mean?
Click the sword and move it. Hey.
I can move it. It's a thing.
Hey, what's up?
That's so incredibly awesome. So what do I do with it now that my shadow has it?
Now your shadow has a sword, I guess.
Well, I was asking the party.
And Cryptillia, I just wanted to point out, the way that aid works is it increases your max HP. It's not exactly a heal, but it increases your max HP for the 5 for 8 hours. So recommend that you do that before going into combat.
It's not an actual heal. Okay.
From my understanding, it's not. I could be wrong about that aspect, but a few people when we had that debate pretty much just said it's just a raising of your max. So
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah, there are
I
plenty of
will-
good uses for that.
Yeah, I won't use that
Mhm.
at
yeah,
this
I was just
moment.
letting you know because I misunderstood it as well, so I didn't want you to waste a level 2 spell slot for basically no reason, especially if everyone's gonna dip out.
Yeah, pretty much.
So when my shadow picks up the sword, I'm gonna suggest that we retreat to the fountain room for now, just in the temporary. Because you said the door
Listen, so we
behind
make a
us is locked, right?
It has reopened. And unfortunately, May, for a little while, Nyx will just be unconscious. You having a decent bond with her, you'll be able to note that she will be okay. It'll just be time.
Yeah, I'll just carry her. No, I'll carry her. Like a big
we can take
cat baby.
I remembered how to
DM,
stick
quick
tokens
question.
together.
But she's already stable and everything, right?
Yeah, she's just unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a door right here?
Indeed.
I think so. One I'm scared to go through.
I think just as we're leaving, I think Adachi would just listen at the door, like, and maybe use May to give him the help action just to see if he hears anything. Can I do that?
Sure. You don't hear anything.
If I touch the door handle, is it unlocked? Like if I try to turn the handle?
Are you gonna
Oh,
attempt to open
gosh.
the door?
Don't
I
do
don't
it.
want to open it. I don't want to open. I just want to see if it's unlocked. You know, like, is it just like a doorknob, or is it like a?
Yeah.
just a-
I mean,
is it
I don't
no
know if you
handle?
can see it, but there is a knob on that one.
Could you use
It's really,
like,
it's
your
really hard to
stapler
know, but it's
open
right
it?
underneath Little May's like southwestern direction.
Oh, like right.
Yeah, you got
I guess
gotta
I see
really
it.
want that detail notification, but yes, there's a handle on it.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
Get locked in there.
Can I do? So I was just listening. Can I do a perception to see if I notice it's got a trap on it or anything, like tripwire or something?
Oh no, we gotta answer the question first. Are you gonna touch the door to see if it's unlocked?
Well, can I check it for traps before I touch it?
Well, you didn't ask that question first.
Well, then I won't touch it. I won't open it.
All right. Then if you want to check it for traps, you can roll me an investigation.
Okay.
I had to know if you touched it. And you will be
Can-
touching it for traps, so it doesn't matter.
Can May give me the help action
Sure.
on the investigation check?
Yeah, you can blow yourself up. That's fine. No traps, but it is locked.
19. Okay. Oh, okay. Knowing that, I'll just follow everybody else out. With my familiar this time.
And Cryptilli, what are you doing still hanging out in here?
I was picking up more gold.
Got it? So, if you guys want to just spend that little bit of time collecting gold, is not an issue at all. And if you want to pick up the silver too, you can add a total of 150 gold and 150 silver to your inventory. Just minus what just Stalin had already picked up, which I believe was 1550.
Yep. Or
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
not
it
sure
was
the gold that I picked up.
2020. It was 20 gold, 20 silver.
2020. That's what it was. I try to do way too much of this off of memory, and I should just constantly be looking at my notes, to be fair.
Fair enough.
Can I do like some sort of check on the sword just to see like what basic kind of sword it is? Like, is it a one-handed sword?
I think that
two-handed
is a
sword?
fantastic idea. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
It's a sword.
I wish I had webcam so you could have seen my face when you rolled a 3. I was smiling, then 3, and I frowned. Sad. It's a sword, man.
It's a sword.
It just looks like a sword. I was curious about it, but doesn't seem to be out of the ordinary.
I think that this is fair enough to point out. I mean, because you do have like a passive investigation as well. There are 3. Well, God, why are you guys going so low on this?
Oh no.
There are 3 holes. One looks to be a vertical oval, the other a horizontal oval, and the bottom one looks to be 3 circles cut out on top of each other, almost how you would kind of make a snowman. However, each of the circles are the exact same size.
Now, can I at least tell if it's a one-handed or two-handed sword?
It's a short sword.
Okay. Adachi, can you come see if this sword has any magic to it or anything? It looks like a sword.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, DM. I detected magic in that room earlier, so that would have told me if it was magical, right? Or
Indeed, and
Do
it
I-
was not.
yeah, so I'll just tell Crick. So I was like, yeah, you know, I think I was standing pretty close to it in the room earlier, and there wasn't any kind of aura. So, I mean, maybe these holes do some. Maybe the magical things in the sword are gone, or at least the valuable pieces. I mean, who knows? But yeah, this isn't magical yet.
With any of our checks, could we tell like what condition the sword's in? Like if it's pristine or beat to hell or rusty? I know they were low, but that's like super
Yeah, I
basic
mean, but
stuff.
this is, yeah, exactly, super basic. The sword isn't in the greatest of conditions. You can see where there's bits of ice that have kind of built up on it. However, the ice isn't made up of water. It is indeed made up of blood. But after kind of picking it away, it seems to be in a fairly decent shape. I mean, it's definitely usable. May not be necessarily made to be like the greatest weapon, with the holes in the center of the blades and scattered out through the main parts of it, giving it a little less durability.
I say we keep it nonetheless.
Because I want to
Yeah,
ask if the holes look like they're worn in or if they're a part of the design. But our rolls probably aren't good enough for that.
Well, to be fair, I feel like that little bit of extra information I might have went too far, but I wanted to make sure it was understood. That
Okay.
So are we just taking a short rest, Cam? To recover, or
Oh, I have no idea. I mean, it's 8 hours for a short rest, so. And
oh, that's right.
on top of that, it's not very late in the day either. It's, still fairly early.
I
We're
wonder how
protect-
prepared we are to continue on, even after a rest. This place is dangerous.
Adashi would speak up and just say, on my way out, I looked at that door to the west. It's locked, but it doesn't appear to be trapped in any way, and I didn't hear anything behind the door. So, and also, this had to be magic on it earlier. I mean, if the door's thick enough, I wouldn't be able to tell anything from the other side. But maybe that's an option. I mean, maybe some of us that aren't in such rough shape could just do some simple scouting, and we can always run back here if we haven't run into any problems.
The thing is, if we run into a problem that we can't get away from, we're not in a very good position right now to fight.
The door locked behind us once already. That's why I'm cautious.
As much of a waste of time as it may be, I think retreating for the day would be the wisest choice. Rest up, rehabilitate our skills a little bit or whatever, come back tomorrow as fresh as we can.
Agreed.
Where is it that you want to rest, brother? Make camp?
Yeah, I was thinking, did we leave our camp set up or did we break it down?
We broke it down, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then we could search for a place fairly nearby, set up camp, and use that as, base of operation to clear this place. After coming here, it doesn't seem like time is of the essence, so there's no risk or no need to risk ourselves dying to get it done quickly.
Well, do you think that this room or the entrance, the cave entrance, I mean, to a certain extent it can protect us from the elements, but do you think it's too dangerous to rest here?
Well, we know that there's probably dangerous things deeper down. Do we want to risk that they come higher up at night?
We
Set a barrier, right, Adashi?
Yeah, I could set an alarm on the door so we'd be notified if anything came in. I mean, granted, if it's another owlbear, I mean, I guess we can just run out of the cave. Make sure we rest on the other side of the room.
No, that doesn't sound particularly safe.
I'm less fearful of the things we might encounter outside than the things we might encounter in here in the night. Even if we just went to the bottom of the cliff or the top of the cliff, I think that would be sufficient.
I agree.
This room seems safe to me enough, but I'll follow whatever you guys decide on.
I agree. I think this room is pretty safe.
We know hell is beyond that door, though. That's my only concern.
So what's the choice?
I think think we're 2-2 right now.
That's what I'm counting.
Adachi votes to rest here.
I say we stay here and heal up and head out when we're all feeling better.
Well, if it's 3-2, wait, that means there's one more.
I think Cryptilli.
Yes,
Oh,
and then
Tilly
after
is
you notice this,
oblivious to the conversation.
after you notice this, you look over, Cryptilli off by herself, just drinking.
It's my job.
She's obviously not sober enough to leave, so we stay here.
Can I have a drink, sister?
Of course, there's enough for everyone.
What do you say? Should we stay or should we go?
What do you mean? What? Stay? Go?
I'll take a swig out of my own flask and start setting up my tent without an
Well,
accent.
I think we're staying. Adashi, please set up that warning system you always do.
Adachi nods and then goes and spends 10 minutes to cast alarm on the door.
Good.
If we're gonna rest here, I would suggest splitting into just 2 watches for the night and doing half and half. With 3 and 3.
Sounds good to me, brother. I definitely need to rest up and heal from my wounds, so I would love to take the second watch.
I'll take first watch.
I can take the first watch.
I think me, May, and Creep Tilly should take second watch.
Does anybody want to hold on to this strange sword we found?
I'll take it.
I like to. I was about to say I like to think of myself as a short sword expert, but apparently not, because I didn't know what it was.
Too small for me, so I'm not very interested.
As long as we keep it safe, I'm good.
Okay, so let's go ahead and take our break. Use the restroom, do the whole little 5-minute stretch thing before we get into the second half of our game tonight, and see what happens during your guys' stay inside the cave. Does danger lurk around the corner? Who knows? We'll find out when we get back. See everyone in about 5 minutes. Well, as we get back to it, there does seem to be a slight discrepancy on the gold collected. With that in mind, as everyone had vacated the area, I mean, each of you know there's gold and silver there, but no one has, like, gone back to check, nor do I think really anyone cares to. The only one that was in the room after everything was done was Adachi, and still, even at that point, I don't think Cryptilli was finished. But I'll leave that up for you guys to go about. I feel like everyone knows that there was coin there, so just how you guys want to handle it. You did let Cryptilli almost die, so...
May is totally uninterested in the gold.
Same with
And-
Crix.
She'll like open one eye as they start to talk about it and just like shake her head and try to get some rest.
Right, and I mean, at a matter of that fact, like, I mean, it's not like you guys, like, really spend gold anyways. Half the time, if anyone requests a gold, you just have them build a castle, so...
Must be nice.
Yeah, just all, you know how it is, trying to make a living on your own.
Yeah, so I'm always trying to have a little extra. This is bar change or tavern change.
Okay, so the first watch, I believe, is Crix, Adachi, and just Stalin, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
Can the three of you give me a perception check after you all set up everything needed? Of course, the torches will be beginning to diminish at this point, giving off like a little bit of heat, but not as much as they once were.
Would it be okay for Adachi to, like, can I specify that Little May, like, Adachi kind of goes more towards the mouth of the cave and has Little May kind of flying around just to make sure, like, because I think that magical barrier is down, if I'm correct. So, like, theoretically, we could get jumped from the mouth of the cave too.
Yeah, you can never fly out that way if you like.
Ah. Okay. D20. So she gets a 11 perception.
So through your watch, it seems to be fairly uneventful. However, just Stalin. When the wind seems to be whipping, carrying itself through the cave, you are able to hear a few words. And in the wind, it almost sounds like a whisper as you hear the words, sword, life, family.
Sword line family or sword life family?
Sword, life, and family.
Sword of life and family. And that's coming from the outside of the cave through the wind?
As it seems like the voice is being just carried with the wind. And those are the three words that you hear.
Gotcha. So I would definitely go to my two brothers, Crix and Adachi, to let them know what I heard. But also that I'm skeptical as well.
I believe him. He definitely heard that.
Wondering if I believe myself, but it did sound clear.
I mean, we did find a sword, so now we just need to find life and family?
It makes me wonder about the statue as well. Is this part of our lineage?
Thinking of which, hearing him say that, I'm gonna look at the sword that the statue has and see if it bears any resemblance in the handle and hilt or whatever else I can see to the one we found.
Yes, if it's or anything.
Go ahead. Give me a perception or investigation check, whichever you prefer, at advantage.
Hey.
Hey.
I crit, because that was a smart idea.
That was a smart idea. Does seem to be a fairly striking resemblance. The hilt is nearly identical. Little bits seem to be changed, or perhaps worn off over time.
Hey, just Stalin, look at this. The statue on the sword seems to be remarkably similar to the one we found.
Interesting.
It may be more important than we think.
I knew it was peculiar. Perhaps it's all a puzzle.
Yeah, this place may be a test, just as I thought.
Isn't it always?
True enough, brother. True enough.
We'll have to update the others later.
Yeah, when we change shifts, we'll fill them in.
Surely.
Other than that, your night is uneventful. So during the shift change, as you wake up your other 3 siblings, you can pass along the information, and then the second watch can begin. With that in mind, Cryptilli, May, and Vieric, can you all roll me a perception check during your watch? Okay. Other than the wind whipping and echoing, whistling as it goes over the entrance of the cave, the night is uneventful. And just for the record, because just Stalin, you had pointed this out numerous times beforehand,
Right.
you wouldn't get the full 4 hours with the first watch. You would just get 2 hours with them before needing to go to sleep. But with that in mind, not going to be too worried about it, because you had pointed that out previously, like I said. But just
So I
as a
can get-
friendly reminder. What was that, bud?
I am getting sufficient rest though for the short rest. or
Yes,
whatever?
yes, that's what I was saying. I'm not going to be like a stickler about it, but just as like a friendly
Yeah.
reminder, because you had pointed it out numerous times previously.
All right.
So.
Sounds good.
Because just like me, I kind of got sucked up in the RP of it and remembered afterwards, so I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, because I know those guys don't have the rest I do, so I always kind of wondered about the watches
Exactly.
and everything.
You're just reduced by 2 hours, basically, is all. But with
Okay.
the second watch being uneventful, the alarm not going off well, I was going to say through the night, but from what you all can tell, Adachi, when you went to go look at the entrance, it was nearing midday from the last you had checked.
So just to be clear, we can take a short rest.
Indeed. With that, the short rest will be complete. If there is any hit dice needed to be rolled, feel free. Remember, most of you, well, I think all of you actually have 3 left. I can't remember off the top of my head to be 100% certain. It's either 2 or 3.
DM, quick question. Am I allowed to prepare different spells on a short rest?
Yeah.
Okay.
Long rest would be too unfair, I feel.
Got it. Cool. Thank you.
And, I mean, just for the record, because this had been brought up previously, it hasn't applied to this campaign yet, I'm pretty sure. Could be wrong. But getting the rest through the night, a short rest through the night, will also take care of exhaustion levels as well. I'm sure it'll come up again, but just so you don't have to wait a week to get rid of one exhaustion level, that would suck.
So as May wakes up, she's gonna check on Nyx and see if she can, I don't know, change her wound dressing or like wash it out.
Nyx is pretty. I mean, you can still see like where like the blood's on like the cloth from the dressing, but she's good. You can still wrap it back up to be extra careful, of course.
But what about her HP? Does she regain any?
Yeah, she'll be back up to full.
Okay.
And as Crix just like walks up and like pokes the wound, Nyx attempts to bite him. Just snapping, just getting nothing but air. Crix says like it slight like half-heartedly lunges towards you, but you're able to move your hand out of the way quick enough.
May's like, "Oh, sorry, brother. She had a rough night.
I understand.
It's okay, Nyx." May pets her head.
Can you roll me an animal handling check there, May? At advantage, of course.
Also, in this moment, as Crix is walking away and his back is turned, I'm gonna pull out like a piece of a dried meat ration that I'm eating on and throw it at the kitty and go and throw it at it.
Reinforced behavior, I like it. So as Nyx, grabs a piece of the meat that Greptili had just thrown her way, it, kind of strikes you, which I'm sure being more than aware of, but then actually seeing it firsthand, these creatures aren't, immune to danger, as just as little May was damaged from the trap, but Adachi able to bring her back. These ones, well, won't be able to follow that same path.
Yeah, May is also learning. May learned a very hard lesson about how different her skills are and close quarter combat. And also this being her first combat encounter, trying to work with Nyx, and she like bows her head to her and promises, "I learned a lot last night." I can't promise that won't happen again, but you fought bravely.
A little bit of a purr as she rubs up against you.
So how's everybody feeling today? Well, after our rest, it's still probably the same day.
Indeed it is.
Since I am still here, it's the same. Let us press on and not look backwards.
Same, brother.
Well, no sense wasting time.
Yep.
So we're keeping the camp up for when we return.
Yep, I'll tie my jug back to my back, and grab all my items, and then make my way towards the door.
Okay, so leaving your camp up, you all move along. Just as a reminder, after the hit dice were used, please remember to add one more back.
Oh, haha.
And then you can move along.
I'm gonna open the door slowly and peek in to make sure it's like we left it.
Indeed it is.
Now, door down here, was it a wooden door or?
Yep. A wooden door. It's got a handle.
Surprised Adashi didn't burn it down already.
Do we want to open the door or do we want to head deeper into the cave?
I can send Little May to just see what's down there. If we just want to see what our options are.
Sounds like
Sounds
a
good.
plan, Adachi.
Yes, sir. Right away. Right away, if you're. So, eager to prove himself, Adachi will go like just to the edge of the cave here, and then I would like Little May to try to be stealthy as she kind of turns the corner. So she gets a +3 on stealth, but no advantage. So. Oh!
Perfect. Okay.
And then,
so goes in
yeah,
the
she
corner.
turns the corner. And then Adashi's looking through her
You
her
see
eyes.
that it
senses.
just turns back to the left.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going. I'll get to the next one. And then I guess tell me if I need to roll a perception, but yeah, she's just gonna keep going.
Go ahead and roll a perception.
And that would be at advantage, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 16.
Okay. Up ahead, you see a stone and ice portcullis that is closed. It seems to have a big enough gap for Little May to slip through.
Oh gosh. Okay. I think he'll tell Little May to sit right there, and so Adachi will kind of snap back to his senses and say, "There's a portcullis ahead, but it has a small enough hole for Little May. Should we continue on, or do you guys want to get a closer look first?"
I say let our siblings catch up. Again, how long does it take for you to be able to see through May's eyes? Little May's eyes?
Just a moment. About 6
Well,
seconds.
as long as we can watch after you together, I would recommend looking through her eyes to see what's on the other side.
All right. If you don't mind, would it be okay if I go inspect the portcullis? If it's a trap, I wouldn't want to lose May this early in the adventuring day.
Wait, out of character, you're gonna do what with the portcullis?
I just want to make sure it's not like a trap that's gonna like chop her head off as soon as she tries to fly through, kind of thing.
Oh, if you can do that from a distance, by all means. I've had
Not
it.
really. We'll just be bold. So I'm gonna tell Little May to just approach the door and maybe see like what she can see through the portcullis. If that's an option.
Hope it doesn't slam down on her.
Well, looking through before going past it, you see a fairly large room. It seems to open up and lead into. A banister hangs on the southern wall. unable from this angle to tell the artistry in the picture that seems to be upon it. And then other than that, let me just see something. There we go. And a lever that seems to be on the western wall.
Interesting. Okay. And can Little May roll a perception just to see if she hears anything similar to what we did yesterday in the room?
I will just include it from your previous one. You don't hear anything.
Okay. Sorry, 1 second. Let me just see how far away I am. Yeah, so Adashi's gonna move around the corner. So he's closer. And then, he'll tell Little May to go through the portcullis and see what else she sees, looking through her vision. So if possible, I'd like to go like here.
And it's an empty room, other than what was described before.
Seeing that portcullis on the other side, is it like a similar, like, is there a hole for that Little May could fly through on that one too?
Yep.
Oh gosh. Okay. I'll leave Little May there for a second, and I'll snap back to my senses and say, the room's empty. There is a lever on their side. I wonder if it maybe unlocks the door. I know you can do that cool thing where you trade places. Do you brave enough to go in alone? We could inspect to see if there's some way to open this portcullis, but sorry, DM, could I roll an intelligence check to see, like, would know it's leading to the same room, or from looking at Little May's eyes, do I know it's that locked door takes us to the same place?
I think that's safe to say.
Okay.
Unless there's this like wild turn in that like 5-foot grid square, I think you're good.
Oh, got it. Okay. Yeah, Doc, she'll say it's the same room as where that locked door leads. I mean, maybe if we want, we could just break the door down. And he'll call back to the rest of the group and say, like, open for any suggestions, Emily?
Couldn't Little May pull that lever?
She probably doesn't have the strength to do it.
Yeah, she's got a 3 strength.
Yeah.
Isn't Vera good with locks?
Okay, wait, hold on 1 second.
Because I can probably break the door down, but I'd rather not destroy it if I don't have to.
Good is a stretch, but I'm willing to give it a shot.
Well, let's go have a look-see.
And I'll hold that sword while you pick at that lock.
By the way, Varric, the lock I was talking about was the northern door to the room. I don't think it's possible to portcullis from this side.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, up here.
So sorry, the spell on Find Familiar says a familiar can't attack, but it can take other actions as normal. So, like, interacting with an object is an action. I think it can try it. I think the question comes down to, is it strong enough? So I can try to send Little May to the lever and see what happens.
What are you spell attacking, May?
So sorry. Just literally was trying to see what my modifier for spellcasting was, and I didn't realize that was a button.
Okay, I was just curious.
I think it's wisdom, but
I was just hoping you were actually attacking something versus ignoring it.
no.
So
Sir,
Virik, if you're
DM, if
gonna
you're cool with it,
lockpick, Virik, if you're gonna lockpick,
go ahead.
do you have the tools?
Let me check real quick. I think so.
You should.
Can I search bones
Yes.
or owlbears
Give me a
for?
thieves tools check, and it will be at with your dexterity and proficiency, which it already should be. For you, Justalin, if you want to check on the bones, you can give me an investigation check. And Adashi, if you want to try out your theory with Little May, you can have Little May give me a strength check.
Okay.
How do
Sorry,
I
I know
do
that
that?
was
Check.
Roll your thieves tools. It's on like the bottom left. And with the modifiers, that's a -3, right?
It's actually a -4, so it's a 10.
-4. Okay, yeah. Unable to move it.
Oh.
You find that there are some humanoid bones here, along with some creature. I mean, more than obviously from what had kind of constructed itself after making your way in. But you'll also note that these bones, Justalin, seem to be fairly old. A lot of them have been just broken, smashed away. Nothing seems to be a complete skeleton.
Gotcha.
Virik, are you gonna let me hold that sword?
You gonna get up off that goal?
Nope.
Well, there you go. You said it's on the bottom left?
Yeah, it says Thieves' Tool.
Yeah, so I'm clicking that and nothing's happening.
So, okay. Just go ahead and roll a d20. And then with your dexterity and your proficiency, it'll be a +5. So we'll add 5 to what? Oh, nice. 24. It's enough to unlock the door. You just hear a little bit of a click, and you as you do, you just feel the door jiggle just a bit, seeming to release.
Ah, so it worked this time.
Hot damn.
Now, dumb question: does this door open in or out?
It seems that it can open either way. The hinges on your southern side, and the frame seems to allow it to go either in or out. And it's definitely not a dumb question.
Okay, so if Virik's not going to open the door, I'm going to open the door. I'm going to pull it outwards. And then I'd like to use a couple rocks or bones to put in place next to it to kind of prop it open.
I thought I was already opening the door after I picked it.
Oh, I knew you picked it. I didn't know if you were opening it.
Yeah, like you said, if you didn't open it, but if you do open it, Virik, you can either do the same thing or open it as you please, of course.
I'll take it as a suggestion and do what he said.
Okay. So
I'm
as
honored.
you open the door, taking a few of the rocks and little bits of bones, propping it open. And then, of course, from the earlier descriptions, each of you can see what is in the room.
I'm going to summon my shadow.
Good move.
So, as Crix and Cryptili and then they followed by the others make their way in, you can see that this tapestry depicts a what appears to be a legendary battle.
Can I roll a history check on it?
Yep, was just about to ask.
Yes, if any of you would like to roll a history check, please feel free to do so. And what you see before you are four high elves. The 4 high elves depicted on this tapestry all seem very well decorated in this ornate armor, and with it being a bit torn, it's hard to make out too many descriptions. It just seems that the torn and fade from over time, just the wear and tear naturally seems to have kind of deteriorated this tapestry. However, being able to tell that the 4 individuals are high elves, you do note that one of them is wearing your family crest pinned upon their chest. The white stag, encaptured in by a circle and encrusted with gems, very well decorated. You can see that there's definitely an emerald and a ruby in there for sure. A couple of the others are a little hard to tell. However, the 4 seem to be fighting gnolls, and off to the left side you see a mountain range, and from what you gather, it seems that they are pushing these gnolls towards the mountain. And as it goes on, it seems to be showing more and more of a story. A tripwire being used by the gnolls as a bit of a defensive mechanism. And you see them cutting the wires and disarming the traps accordingly. On the bottom it reads, trips and poison tips. From your history checks, these don't seem to have any significance. I mean, until really realizing the family crest from looking over everything, I mean, it's nothing that you have read in any of your studies in your past.
Seems to have been quite a battle indeed.
It's a little off though, family. If the gnolls we met didn't seem smart enough to have traps, but perhaps they've had a lot of inbreeding since.
Maybe. I'm curious if the writing at the bottom has anything to do with the cave. Maybe a warning of what's ahead. This is a strange place indeed.
Should I look for any magical auras, or do you all want to pull this lever and see what happens?
Well, trips and traps are not only magical. They can be physically activated. But why don't we back up from this tapestry, perhaps over to the other room, while Crix's shadow pulls the lever, just in case.
Before my shadow pulls the lever, I just want to see if I can take a peek behind the tapestry. Is it like hung on the wall with like a frame, or is it one of those ones where it's kind of stuck at the top, but it's a thick like fabric kind of canvas where you could look behind it still?
Indeed. As you look behind it, there's nothing there, just the bare wall.
Okay, you can never be too careful.
No, you can't.
Downside to this is my shadow can't be too far away from me, so I will have to stay in here to pull a lever. with it?
Well, perhaps get away from the portcullis, at least.
I'll at least stay in the room with you.
Okay, which lever should I pull first? The top one, or well, the left one or the right one?
Well, what I will point out as you've gotten a little bit closer, it seems to be all the way facing north, all the way down to that side. There seems to be a lock in the center, and then also all the way to the left, or the southern side.
So it's got 3 positions.
Correct.
Okay, then I would want to advance it to the middle position and see what happens.
Okay. You hear the portcullis begin to rise. You look over towards your southeast direction, and you see that that path becomes open.
Okay, logically, the next thing I would do is advance it back to its previous position and then try to go all the way over to the far position without triggering the middle one to see if I can have that side closed and potentially the other side open. But that's a lot to go through when I'm just going to end up back at the far position from where it started.
Okay, so as soon as you just maneuver it out of the position doing that pattern, that you see that the southeastern portcullis begins to close. When you maneuver it over towards the middle, it begins to rise again, but as soon as you press it all the way down to the southern position, that portcullis begins to close, and then the one on your southwestern side begins to rise.
Nice job, Chris.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Never cautious with gates.
Should I scout ahead again?
As always.
So making your way
Okay, so
towards the opening, you can see where the path turns towards the north.
okay, so I'm gonna have Little May try to be stealthy again. Worked so well last time. 11.
Okay. Then can you roll me a perception check?
Not 20, but it would be a 23.
Okay. Well, noted, but I fucked that one up. You'll see that there's a tripwire.
Okay.
Don't worry about the green.
Got it. Okay. But it's on the ground, right?
Of course.
The tripwire. Okay. I think Adachi would just tell Little May to stay there for a second, and he's gonna turn to his brothers and sisters and say, "It looks like there's a tripwire just around the corner. I can have Little May fly over it and just see what's on the other side, or do you guys want to investigate the tripwire first?"
I think we should investigate so Little May doesn't get taken out by another tree.
The other thing that I'd like to point out is that there seems to be a stone door with a metal hinge, a knob as well. You see where it's not perfectly sealed, and a bit of light seems to be escaping past it.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention. There's a stone door. It's a metal hinge too, and it seems like there's some light coming from the other side. So I'm guessing that's our objective. We just need to safely not trigger this tripwire.
Does there appear to be a way to open the door?
I mean, there's a metal handle.
Okay, I missed that part.
Did you see any indication of what the trap may be, or just the wire?
There's just a wire on the ground. I mean, could have May get closer.
Have her get closer, but don't touch it.
Okay. What is an owl's investigation check? I guess they don't have it. Doesn't have investigation. Can I roll it? This is
I'll
probably.
include
I think
from the
answer's no.
roll, like moving her forward a bit, you can begin to see where there's these little holes that line both sides of the wall, the left and the right.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's-
You know the poison tips and trips. Ryan, I think trip the wire, you get tipped with the poison darts. It's kind of there's little murder holes kind of all across the cave.
So don't trip.
Have little bait come back out.
Maybe we should disarm the tripwire like our ancestors did in the tapestry. Or maybe that's the trap itself.
Well, I have an idea of something I can do, but it's something I don't enjoy doing.
Sacrificial shadow.
Yes.
What about the little helper that Adachi has? Is that I'm not sure how limited Adashi's abilities are.
You mean May?
No, your unseen servant.
The unseen servant. Yeah, I don't want you to tap out all your power,
Oh,
wear yourself out, but why not have the servant trip the wire?
yeah. It should just take me 10 minutes if you guys just want to admire that beautiful tapestry back there.
Well, I mean, it doesn't really cost me anything except great discomfort to kill my shadow.
And how long does it take for you to be able to reproduce it?
I was about to ask the same thing.
Right,
I can make it once per turn.
but out of combat.
Yeah, out of combat, I can pretty much make it whenever I want.
Oh, so just a bit of discomfort.
Yeah, just send it.
Oh, wait. Would we perhaps be failing the test if we trip the wire, even intentionally?
A set-off trap is still technically a disarmed trap.
True.
Indeed.
True.
I think failing a test means dying in this case. And this place.
Agreed.
What
Because
is
I
there
believe
beyond
that fight
the
was a test.
I agree.
What is
Only
it
a stone
beyond
door.
the trap? Just a
Only
door?
a stone door, sister. Yeah.
I'm gonna send my shadow over to...
Wait, should he step over and open the door first and then trip the wire? 2 actions in one?
I don't want to move any closer to the wire myself, and my shadow can't get much further than the wire away from me.
Of course, brother. I'm reaching beyond myself.
Oh, it's fine. I'm gonna have my shadow cut the wire with his glaive.
Okay. I appreciate it, so I will be super lenient on this, but can both of you roll me a dexterity saving throw at advantage?
You too?
Just Stalin and Crix. Okay. I mean, you can roll the next one if you want, just Stalin, but you don't have to. Both of you passing. You see, like, you more so hear it. And as the tripwire is cut, you hear the darts. But as they strike, you see the room beginning to fill with a cloud, a green cloud, as it begins to creep around the corner. Both of you take a slight step back, and with that being just enough for it to not reach you. And almost as quickly as it appeared, it begins to dissipate. You'll feel your shadow fall, of course, but the trap has been activated.
You'll also see me recoil just slightly as I get a pale imitation of the pain it endured as it died.
Your sacrifice was worth it. We appreciate it, brother.
Well, I mean, I really could have just, if we were just, waited 10 minutes, I could have just done that and felt none of the pain. But wait, it's maybe next time. He makes like a kind of like a I'm sorry look to Crix.
It's alright, it doesn't cause damage, I just feel the sensation of its death.
Yeah, death pains. Yeah, no big deal, right?
You see Creep Tilly get a really nice little grin.
Oh, creepy. I mean that seemed kind of magical. Should I detect to see if there's still some kind of magical trap lingering? I mean, the wires. What if there's something else still there?
Sure.
I'd never tell you not to try, brother.
Okay, this will just take a few minutes. So I think Adashi's gonna go kind of to the edge of where we saw the glow and just detect magic. So he's gonna take 10 minutes to ritual cast that.
Well, to be fair, you didn't see the glow till after it was gone, but you saw where it dissipated. But it was more of a fog, not a glow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But if you guys don't want to do anything within that 10 minutes, we can activate the detect magic. But that's up to you guys.
Sounds good.
Okay. With no other answers, I'm going to go ahead and assume everyone else is okay with it. So as the detect magic goes off, no magic is detected.
The way seems clear. I don't detect any auras. I'll continue kind of at a slow pace and just see if anything pops up. Okay, so Adashi will just kind of like move to like, not where Crix is, here, and assuming I don't detect any auras in the passageway, then I'll move 10 feet more, and 10 feet more until I get to the door and see if I detect any magic.
Nope, no magic.
I think the way's clear.
Was this door cracked, or could we see light coming from under it?
You can see like light coming through the seam area, but no, it's not cracked. It is shut.
Derek, do you mind checking that door to see if it's locked or trapped by chance?
Of course, brother.
If you're gonna check it to see if it's locked or trapped, go ahead and give me an investigation check. It is indeed locked.
I still got my set though, right? Like it didn't break.
Correct.
All right, I want to use that then.
Go for it. The D20 plus 5. Unfortunately, you do not hear any pop or anything like reaction, and then your lockpick snaps. Fortunately, you have a few more. This definitely doesn't seem beyond your ability, but perhaps just moving a bit too hastily.
Would I be able to try one more time?
Yep, at this point, after messing around with it for a bit, go ahead and roll this one at advantage. And
So-
Crypt Chili is going to give you guidance. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So just go ahead and roll 2 d20s. Okay, so the first one's the highest, so that's a 19. Roll a d4. $21. And as you are thumbling through, you realize that this isn't just a one lock mechanic part. It has 2 locks in it. You hold down one, and then as you put in your second lock pick, you thumble around a little bit and then pin down the other. You hear the locks pop, the door just a tad bit. You unlocked it.
See, guys, no door is ever locked.
Well, not for long anyway, with you around.
And crypto.
Well, should we proceed?
Of course we should. Crix, can you send your shadow in first?
Of course I can.
Can you give me a athletics check with your shadow? Unfortunately, while your shadow tries to push, the door does not seem to budge.
Is it a pull door?
No, it just seems too heavy. Perhaps more assistance will be needed.
Okay, Virik, you wanna trade places with me? Apparently, my shadow by itself is not quite strong enough to open such a hefty door.
Of course. Be careful, brother.
So I'm gonna assist my shadow to give it advantage on the check? Or have it help me, either way. I'm gonna help myself.
Yeah, I was gonna say, either way, I feel like you're just helping yourself.
A little self-help book, if you will.
Perfect. As you, well, let me just ask, are you just, pushing it open now and fully opening? Or are you just...
We were gonna push with full force, so if that's enough to fling it open, then it's enough to fling it open, but I was giving it all I had.
So I will reveal the entire area.
This looks suboptimal.
Wow, I worked really hard on this.
No, I mean, it looks really good. Oh no, this room would be
Alright,
horrible.
so note to himself, go for Crix first.
Goofy.
So as you push the door open, you and the Shadow's strength combine. Well, you and you strength combine seems to be enough. Pushing it open, it does fling till it slowly hits the cave wall as it makes its way all the way around. Inside, a bit to your, maybe to each of your what's the word I'm looking for? Surprise. The room is lit. Candles decorate the outsides of the wall of the cave walls. Some surround sarcophaguses. 4 medium-sized ones lie on either side of the room, 2 on the left and 2 on the right. There are 2 skeletal remains that lie outside of the sarcophaguses. In the center of the room, you see a fairly large tomb. A little bit of a protrusion of what appears to be a body from the lid, lying on a purple rug. The floor reminds each of you of your throne room back at the castle. A blue and stone mosaic tiled room. The blue resembling that of the ice that is always around Zidane.
I have an immediate question. That darker blue patch there, is that a lighting thing or
It is indeed.
Okay, so it's not like a giant scorch mark on the ground.
Yes. Good call out. Because it definitely could have been something that you could have, but it is indeed just a lighting thing. They're just little
Okay.
tiny candles, so not that big of a flame.
I thought that skelly man over there might have got blowed up by a fireball.
Looks like it.
Well done.
Assuming my detect magic's still going, like now that the door's open, do I detect some magic from those candles? Or are they just naturally lit?
No, they seem that they've been burning for a bit of time. There's just like wax melted along the floor.
With first glance, I just kind of want to see if I would know anything about who would have been buried here out of our family.
No one to your knowledge.
Shall we go in?
I can send May first if we just want to confirm this is where we want to go.
May in the shadow.
Yeah,
I'll
so
follow.
I'll just send May and here. See if anything happens.
Nothing happens.
And then just looking to see, like, is there any other exit or like entrance to this room?
There does not seem to be.
Okay. Yeah, Dashi will say, seems safe, guys. We'll call May back.
I'd like to investigate the body just to see if anything stands out.
And are these stones on the ground movable?
The things that are on the ground are candles.
Oh, they're candles. Nope, I thought those were stones. Darn, I was gonna try to find something to prop that door open.
Go to Cryptilli second.
Movable candle.
Can I take a closer look at one of these sarcophagi thingies?
Of course.
Do you want perception or investigation?
If you're looking, perception. If you're gonna touch, investigation.
I am most certainly looking.
It is a stone sarcophagus. You can tell that it itself seems to be emitting a bit of light. However, confirmation from Adachi proves them to not be magical. However, more of a reflection from the bits of ice that are scattered just very thinly over the sarcophagus. But the center one, since you have moved a bit closer, will be emanating necromancy magic.
Yeah, and I would like to investigate it, just look at it closely to see if I see any resemblance to the statue or to the tapestry, like any, I don't know.
If you're gonna touch it, investigation.
Nope.
If you're gonna look, just perception.
No touchy.
Please don't.
And is the aura similar to the door? Or I need Cryptilli to kind of help me out to determine that.
Well, you don't need him to determine from the aura, but yes, it is similar to the door. And the body kind of outlined and emanated on the front or on the lid of the sarcophagus does seem to have very striking resemblances to the statue from the fountain.
And is there a sword in that hilt?
There is
Good
not.
question. Mm-hmm.
Lyric, I think I found the owner of that sword. Or I think we found it.
Be wary.
Yeah, Adashi's going to yell out, there's a necromancy magical aura in that coffin, similar to the door. Well, just be careful. And he's kind of like looks to May. It's like this. I'm not sure what triggered it last time, but seeing that sword in the hilt could be the trigger.
Can each of you roll me a perception check at this point?
As in
Everybody?
everyone.
Everybody.
Eric's been dead all along. For a perception.
I'm pretty sure.
It'd be dope though.
The only Adachi, Cryptilian, May, Crix, Justalin, and Virik. Okay, so Crix, Justalin, and Virik. Each of you will hear the sound of stone grinding against stone. As you turn, the door to the south is beginning to close.
The one we just came through?
Yes.
Do I have time to try to see if one of these bodies has a weapon and kick it away or something?
They don't seem to.
All right.
Well, looks like here we go again. Everybody get ready to fight.
Don't get too hasty.
And as the door closes, the sound of stone still grinding against stone is continuing. This time seems to be coming from the center of the room.
Be careful, Virik.
Beard, give them the damn sword.
Yeah. Oh shit.
I'm working on it. Shut up, sister.
And-
Holy hell, don't give them any more swords.
As the lid slides, a green fog begins to pour out from the lid. You hear a voice. Wakes me. Bones beginning to move. You can see that there is a hefty amount of this bronze-plated armor decorating this skeleton creature. A long sword held in one hand and a kite shield in the other.
It's already standing.
Yes, and as it stands, it will then say, "Rise." Point the sword towards each of you, and then say, "Speak."
We are your kin. We don't know why we're here, but we're here for a reason.
And I'll say, I think my brother Grimhearth has something for you.
I'm gonna look at him and pull out the sword and say, "What is this to you?"
Nothing. If you do not know, you are not family.
Virik, if you're hiding any secrets, now's the time.
And with that comment, I think is a good place to call it for the night.
Oh,
No.
Oh, that's so awesome.
So, we'll call it here for the night as you make it into the last little parts of this cave, and then we'll see what is in tune for you guys next week.
Nice.
So, anyone got anything they'd like to share or call out before we get out of here tonight?
As always, the suspense is real.
Yeah, this week's gonna kill me.
Yeah.
Well,
so big.
what I will say is at this point, each of you start to gather ideas and be ready to bring that to the table of what you want to do for your level. Because at this point, from quick math, I would have to confirm this, but I didn't want to give you your experience because you are in a dangerous area. I just happened to roll really low on roaming and random stuff. So, but with that in mind, it's still not enough to level, but next week, regardless of what happens, unless you die, of course, you'll be level 4. So, at least start to gather some ideas just as a little bit of a preparation.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Sounds great.
Yep.
All right. Well, everyone have a good night. If you enjoyed tonight and haven't already, please do follow the stream. You can drop down and follow these social links below, all in the bio, I'm pretty sure work. Down below where there's like the Twitter picture. I don't think that one works. Or vice versa. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's the one from the bio. Don't quote me. But you can follow those social medias. I post to YouTube almost every day, loading up all the videos that we do here on Twitch, and then from the other games we play as well. But other than that, everyone have a good night, and see you next time. Tomorrow night at 7:30, we have more Fragments of Remains. See you then.